Hi there, Janet Fritz here for Galaxy Girl Creations. Welcome to Mel W's celebratory hop for reaching 500 subscribers on her channel and a some assemblage required video combined with May I Scraplift You? And on that note, we are scraplifting, or I am scraplifting Mel today. And this lovely layout inspired me. I do have some photos that I needed to use or wanted to use that had the girls in the tub. They're really close-ups of their faces, so you don't really see the bathtub or anything. But I thought it would be perfect to go ahead and use with these bubble inspired background that Mel has going on. I also have this cut file. I think I got this in um, a kit club that is no longer available. But I'm not even sure who the creator is of this particular cut file. Um, but I decided to go ahead and back it with some paper that looks like it's got bubbles on it. So that is what I'm working on here. I am just tracing the inside of each one of these letters, and then I'm going to use my scissors and cut around the outside of the lines that I have traced so that I have a little bit of room to adhere them to the photos. Now I'm making sure not to go much bigger than the lines that I have drawn because I don't want to have to go and trim those off if they stick out from behind the letters when I'm all done getting them glued on. So I'm liking the way that this is looking so far. I'm going to go ahead and use my Nuvo Deluxe adhesive to go ahead and adhere those down. While I do that, don't forget to check out what Mel has going on over in her channel, and there will be a list of links down below for everyone who's playing along to help celebrate her reaching her 500 subscriber goal or milestone. And you can go and check her out at her channel. Again, the link will be down below for that. Also, there is a list, or not a list, a link for a playlist for May I Scraplift You. So you can check out everyone who is playing along with May I Scraplift You, and you will get all of the videos that have been released so far by going to that link. I also decided to go ahead and trim, not trim, but to back the splashes of this particular cut file using a slightly different paper in a little bit more of a turquoise color because I definitely want to have a mix of blues and turquoise on this layout. When you think of water, at least for me, I always think of blue and iridescent, so that's what I'm going with. I did pull out a couple of different inks from my Distress Oxides, and I will be showing you what colors those are in just a moment here. I do know the turquoise one is Salvage Patina. I think the other one might be the might be Speckled Egg. I'm not 100% sure, but I will be holding that up in just a moment, and I will put a link to the products that I'm using down below in case you are interested in purchasing any of those. Now, this particular stencil that I'm using is from MK's um, embellishment box over at the Some Assemblage Required shop in case you are interested in picking up this awesome stencil. I thought it was perfect when I saw that it was in the box to go ahead and use for this layout, and I'm really enjoying the way that it comes out. I don't use a lot of the Salvage Patina ink because it was a little bit more turquoise than I really wanted, so I end up using more of the blue one, which is, I believe, Broken China, and then the one that is a little bit more sedate or subtle in color there. So here I'm going to show you, so yep, Speckled Egg and, oops, not Broken China, Tumbled Glass, you guys. My apologies. I did this while I was at retreat, and I'm just getting around to voicing it, more than a week and a half later, and I've done several layouts since then, so remembering all of the details is sometimes a little bit difficult. Now, these little stencils that I have here of all of these little circles, I just created those on my silhouette. I just stuck a piece of, well, this is not acetate. I don't even know what this material is, but I did a bunch on acetate for some friends of mine as well, and the acetate works just as well. So a piece of acetate, and then I spaced them out like 3 inches apart so that you have room to put um, your blending brush on there and rub it around without going off of the square because nobody wants those harsh lines when you're making bubbles. You don't want the harsh line of the outside of the little stencil that you're using. And I'm just going right over the top of the ones that I've already created with the stencil from the embellishment box over at MK's shop. And I'm liking the way that this is looking. It's just looking like layer after layer of different kinds of bubbles, and that makes me super happy. I did find that I needed a few more down a little bit further on this, the top edge there, it looked like they were kind of, I don't know, they weren't straying off properly or the way that I wanted. Now this stencil I borrowed from MK. I do not know the name of it. It does have some imperfect bubbles on it, and I thought that was perfect to put a little bit of the Stickles Moon Dust glitter gel through to add some texture and a little bit more of that iridescent quality. Well, not a little more, to add some iridescent quality to my bubbles. I am going to layer up a bunch of papers behind my photo, and I'm just using papers out of my scrap bin, not not being super um, rigid about how they layer behind my photo. And in this case, I happen to have enough papers to go with like a full mat behind most of the layers. But in a lot of cases, I just will layer up even if it does not go completely around the photo. As long as the colors are balanced, it looks fine to me, and I like that. And I like my layers to be rather narrow. I don't like them to be wide. So I just go with probably about an eighth of an inch on each side. Now I do have this wood veneer piece from the Some Assemblage Required shop, as well as those stars. The stars came with the little tugboat there, and I'm going to be using those on this layout as well. I really like the way that it looks. So you can go and check out all of the products that MK has available on her shop at the link below for Some Assemblage Required. Now I'm going to go ahead and pop my cut file up onto some foam tape. I really like the way that this looks. It gives added dimension. I also want it to kind of go over the photograph rather than under the photograph. And since I have so many layers of paper under the photo, that made them kind of raised up on my paper. So I needed to account for that, and adding the foam actually really helps with that, so that the cut file doesn't look like it's stuck to the paper and then lifted up when it goes over the photograph. So I'm keeping this one super simple. I did do some stitching all the way around the outside of the layout in turquoise color, I believe. It's either turquoise or gold. And you will see that in the close-ups, I believe. Um, and then I am playing around with where I want to put these embellishments. Now, I'm not somebody who uses a lot of these Jolie's stickers. I've had a lot of them in the past. I've used them in my earlier days of scrapbooking, but I don't usually reach for them. I'm not going to end up using most of that baby stuff because it's the two girls. They're not babies. Um, they were just having a fabulous time playing in the tub together, and I am going to basically use the little white ducky and the white soap. I did have this little puffy whale sticker. I thought that was really cute. Just some things that you would play with in the tub. And that is just going to be my nod to bath time, playtime, if you will. I did end up adding a little foam underneath the duck because the wood veneer is raised up on top of the piece that says splash, and that gave even more added dimension, so that little duck needed a little bit of support underneath his back end. And then I'm going to add these little wooden stars over to the left-hand side to balance out the wood look over on the right-hand side. I also really liked these little stars, that they are kind of imperfect. Um, I think that works really well with the bubbles and the fact that, you know, everything is kind of imperfect when you're in the tub. You know, you look through the water and everything kind of has that look that you are, everything kind of looks wavy. I don't know. I don't even know how to describe it. But that is what my thought was, and that's why I decided to go ahead and use those. Thank you so much for watching. There you can see the stitching is in blue. And that is it, you guys. Go and give Mel a little bit of love and check out what she's got going on. And don't forget, all of the links for everything is down below. You can comment down below as well, and I will get back to you as quickly as I can. And last but not least, congratulations to Mel for reaching 500 subscribers. I think that's totally awesome, and I can't wait to see how your channel continues to grow. Thanks again for watching, you guys. I will see you guys real soon. Bye-bye.